It's very helpful and useful for your doctors and nurses. Okay. Any questions to ask? Please don't hesitate to ask. We can always set up this patient option. They will do you have any questions for me before we start? Perfect. So let me start. Right. This first next. Yes, of course. Happy Thanksgiving. And your contact information. So have a good evening. Right. Let's see. Hello. Hi. How are you? So I understand that you had a bit of an accident. Okay. So you burnt your arm and your turkey. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. So I understand that you are having a bit of discomfort with your arm, so I don't want to make you fill out a bunch of paperwork. Yes, but if you do have your ID and your insurance card, I can kind of just jot down your info. Yeah. Sure, take your time. No, take your time. Don't worry. You're able to grab it with the other arm, okay? Okay. Alright. So this is your insurance card then? Okay. Have you been to this hospital before? Okay. Is the name on your ID the same as your insurance card? It is. Okay, good. And how is that pain level for you right now? 1 being no pain at all, and 10 being excruciating pain for your arm. Okay. That sounds about normal. You hit your head as well? Okay. Did you lose consciousness at all? Okay, good. So I'm just going to make note of that for the doctor as well. She's probably going to be most focused on your burn right now. And since, you don't have a wound or you didn't lose consciousness, she will examine your head, but we're going to focus on that burn first, okay? And do you have any allergies that I should mark down here? And then your regular doctor's name? Okay, good. So since you have been at this hospital before, I'm just going to pull up the rest of your files for the rest of your information. Here's that insurance card back for you. Yes. I'm just going to go submit this paperwork. I'm going to immediately send you back, okay? It should just be a couple minutes, and then you'll be seen by the doctor, okay? Can I get you anything while you're waiting? Do you need some water or anything? Okay, well, I'm just gonna be right over there, so you just let me know if you do need anything, but it really shouldn't be long at all, okay? Alright, wonderful. Dr. CalmingEscape. It's lovely to meet you. I wish it was under better circumstances, of course. Yeah, it sounds like you're having a little bit of a tough day. Well, hopefully we can make it a little better for you. Okay? So, I understand you burnt your arm while cooking Thanksgiving dinner. It happens to the best of us. Okay. And in that process, you also hit your head. Okay. Okay, but I understand you didn't lose consciousness. Okay. And how's your vision right now? Noticed any changes? Okay. Well, not to worry. We're gonna give your head a look as well. So, your burn here on your arm. Right. Were you reaching into the oven? Right. Okay. Did you run the burn under cold water or submerge it in cold water? Okay, good, good. And that's the best thing you can do. About how long did you leave the burn under the water? Okay. Okay, that's good. No, that's good. Some people just kind of do a quick dip under the tap, and it's really not long enough to take the heat out of the burn, but it sounds like you did a couple minutes with cold water. Okay, that's good. No, that's really good. Yeah, the quick little bit under the tap doesn't really do it any good, so with burns, you're always going to want to wait a couple minutes. And it's usually best to submerge it in the water. You can run it under the tap if you want, if it's most comfortable for you, but sometimes that can be a little bit painful with the running water going down onto the burn, okay? But no, you did good. Okay. Alright. Did you wash it with anything? Okay. Some people do, some people don't, right? You can gently wash the burn with like a gentle soap, something that's not like heavily scented, but it depends on the level of degree of your burn, of course, and how sensitive it is. Some people don't want to touch it at all after putting it under water, which is totally understandable, and it's kind of why you came in. Yeah, when in doubt, you should definitely come in and we can give it a look. Yeah, during the exam I'm going to determine what level degree burn it is. And then that's going to determine like how we progress with your treatment. Okay? Okay, good. No, I would never recommend ice. Some people think that, grabbing an ice pack or some ice cubes is really good for a burn, but it's actually too intense. The temperature difference is way too intense, and it can actually cause more damage to the burn, to the skin, and even the surrounding skin that didn't get the blunt bit of the burn, if you will. Yes, cold water is always the way to go. No ice packs, no ice cubes. Yeah, it kind of seems like it would be a good idea, but really just stick to the cold water, okay? Yeah, you definitely don't want to cause more damage. Okay, good. And did you drive yourself here today? Okay. Alright. Just wondering about your pain level. I think out front they took your pain level, 1 to 10. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Has that level changed at all since you've been brought back here? Good. Hasn't gotten worse? Good. Good. We definitely don't want it to get worse. Started, I am going to put some gloves on and we're going to examine your arm here. If you just want to rest it out here, whatever is most comfortable for you. Okay? Wonderful. Alright. So, what about the rest of dinner? Anything gonna survive? Right. Well, you'd probably be surprised how many people we have come in on major holidays with similar burns or cuts. You know, the kitchen can be a very dangerous place, so you are not alone in that aspect. And it sounds like your story wasn't too crazy. Yeah, you hear some of those crazy ER stories and you think, how did that person do that? So yours seems pretty simple, burned your arm while trying to, reach into the oven, check on the turkey. That's pretty basic. Okay? Okay, so just rest your arm out for me. I am going to take off your watch here. Yeah. With any sort of burns, anywhere on the body, the surrounding area can swell. So in this instance, your arm, your wrist, and even your hands or fingers could swell from this. So you're going to want to take off any jewelry. Okay, so I'm just going to snap your watch off here. Don't worry. It's going to be right here next to you, okay? Just don't put that on. At least until tomorrow, okay? Yeah, you want to get some sort of treatment going before you put it back on. You don't want it to swell on and then it's going to cause more damage. You don't want any of that, right? Exactly. Okay, so just rest and relax your arm for me. Okay. I'm going to be just using gentle touches. Yes, very gentle, I understand. The skin is highly delicate right now, and I don't want to cause you any sort of discomfort. Okay, good. Here you go. Okay, just hold still if you can. Okay, thank you. What it looks like here is that you have a 2nd-degree burn. Yes, on your arm here. So 1st-degree burn is just going to kind of be the redness on the skin, right? From that heat. When we get into 2nd-degree burn, there's almost always blisters forming. And as you can see here, we have a little bit. You can kind of see the blisters forming. Okay? Nothing we can't handle, of course. It is really good that it's not as extensive as a 3rd-degree burn. Yes, those are a little bit more worrisome, takes a little bit more to take care of, and through the healing process it can be much, much more extensive. So it is good that it's only a 2nd-degree burn. We can take care of that today, and we're going to talk to you about the care in the coming weeks for it. Yes, another good thing, your burn is actually smaller than my palm here. If a burn is bigger than the palm, that's another thing we have to worry about. Because then it can definitely cause a shock to the system, things of that nature. But so it's good that your burn is actually smaller than my palm here. And even though it's a 2nd-degree burn, like I said, it's not too bad, so you have nothing to worry about. Okay. Don't worry, Thanksgiving won't be ruined for you, okay? Okay, just hold still for me. Okay, so just a couple blisters here. Those actually form to kind of help protect the skin, okay? So it is very important that we don't pop these blisters, okay? I know it can be tempting, but with any sort of burn, when you get these blisters, like I said, it's there to help protect your skin. And if you do pop them, it can actually cause more infection, and it can be more worrisome, as you can imagine. So if we just, work to protect the skin further, let the body naturally heal itself, it's going to be a lot better. Will be better for scarring as well, and healing time, pain level. All of these things are going to work together. Okay? Yes. So protecting the skin is our main goal, and don't pop those blisters. Okay? Okay, good. Around. And what about on the underside of your arm here? Does that hurt at all? Okay, good. So, as I said, this is a very manageable burn. I think our care today is going to be focused on putting an ointment on your burn, and then we're going to put a bandage over it, a non-stick bandage. As I said, it's all about protecting that skin and helping to promote that healing process. Okay, so we're going to apply that ointment gently, of course, and then that bandage, and I'm going to kind of wrap your arm. Yes, you do want to be very careful with what you apply to a burn. If you perhaps do not come to the ER or to your regular doctor, be careful what you read online about what to put on a burn, because some things, specific lotions, specific oils, the home remedies, if you will, can actually be more damaging to your skin. Yeah, the ointment we're going to be using today is perfectly safe for burns, but some of those other options, you put that lotion on your burn or whatever, oil, etc., and it actually locks the heat in and can cause more damage. It can damage the skin further. I know it's crazy, sometimes people don't really think about these things, but you definitely want to make sure whatever you're putting on that burn site is appropriate for it. I know home remedies can be very tempting, but definitely consult a physician, even if you call just, the advice nurse to ask. If it's a smaller burn, yes. And if you don't want to come in or you don't think you need to, just call the advice nurse and ask if a specific product is okay for burns. Yeah. Definitely save yourself some pain, because locking in that heat with that potential oil or lotion can really make your pain level go higher and more discomfort for longer. It can stop the healing process. Okay? So please be careful with that. Alright. Okay. So, as I said, we're going to go ahead and apply that safe ointment and a bandage and wrap your arm. Make sure that you are all set and ready to go. Lovely. Alright, so to use this non-stick bandage, always non-stick, okay? You want to make sure that it's not like a cotton fabric or anything that could get stuck to your wound, or that could potentially damage the wound further when you pull it off. So a non-stick bandage is the best way to go. This specific one is made for burns. You can look into that too. Exactly. Now I am going to use some gauze to wrap around your arm. And that's more of a fabric material, but it's not going to be directly on the burn. It's more to keep this little guy in place. Also make it more comfortable for you so that the bandage doesn't shift at all. Okay, you're going to be doing a similar process to this the next 2 to 3 weeks, so you can kind of pay attention, and we're going to give you the guidelines and print-offs, everything you need to know for the care and healing of your burn for the next couple weeks, okay? But don't worry, it's really not that complicated. Okay, so our bandage, and then as I said, we're going to be using some gauze, and that's going to just wrap around your arm, make it a little bit more comfortable for you. You of course want to enjoy what's left of your Thanksgiving. We don't want you to be in any sort of discomfort. Okay? And then the ointment I'm going to be using. Okay? And we'll go ahead and give you a prescription of this. Yes. And you can pick that up at your local drugstore. Yeah. So that you know for sure that you're using the right type of product on your burn in the coming weeks, okay? Exactly. Alright, so just keep your arm nice and rested. Is it comfortable for you? Okay, good. Going to apply a nice bit of this ointment over your burn, and then we're going to put the bandage over on top, okay? Okay. So, as your burn is starting to heal, it is important to be nice and gentle when you apply the ointment. You don't want to scrub against the burn, irritate the skin, or those blisters. Just nice, gentle movements against it with the ointment. And as you can see, I'm not roughly rubbing it in or anything. You can let some of the product sit on top of it, because once we put that bandage on, yeah, it's going to lock that in and help to promote that healing process. Okay? Okay. Right over the top. Good. Now, as I said, you're going to be doing this process for the next 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how fast you heal. Everybody's body's different, of course, but after it starts to heal, look a bit more normal, you are going to want to switch to a sunscreen, okay? You don't have to bandage it up at that point, but you are going to want to still protect the skin, because if it's in direct sunlight, it's going to slow that healing process. Not to mention it can actually be painful. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, if you've ever gotten a really bad sunburn, and then you kind of go out in the sun and the warmth can kind of irritate it, it's kind of similar to that. You just want to continue to protect this burn. Even after it looks like it's healed, just a basic sunscreen, rub over your arm there. Yes, just to further and completely protect it. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap around your arm here. Good. Good, you're doing really well. So, the burn is also, unfortunately, it's going to itch during the healing process. Can you lift your arm up a little? Thank you. So it's going to itch during that healing process, so it is so very important that you don't itch it. I know it's really hard, but that will, once again, slow the healing process and can cause more damage or scarring to the skin if you do itch the area. Oops. Now, I'm throwing a lot of information at you, but keep in mind I'm going to send all of this information home with you, okay? So things to look out for during the healing process is more extended redness, like going up or down your arm, swelling, pain increase, if you notice any sort of like oozing, if you get a fever, or if you like see kind of like red streaks going up your arm, any of these things, you should most definitely go see your regular doctor and make sure that you don't have an infection, that the burn is healing as it should, okay? And I would even recommend scheduling an appointment with your doctor in a week or two, just to be on the safe side and make sure that the burn is progressing and healing as it should. Okay? Good. Okay, I'm just going to mark these extras. How does that feel on your arm? Not too tight? Okay, good. So, now that your arm is wrapped up, how's your pain level? Okay. So, I would just recommend a basic painkiller, like a Tylenol, an Advil, just something over the counter. Yeah, I don't really see the need to prescribe anything higher than that, really. Yes, it could have been way worse. I think you're very lucky. And your pain level is at an okay level, I would say, for this sort of burn. So I really wouldn't prescribe anything higher than that. So, do you have any problems with those medications? No? Okay, good. Okay, good. So now that your arm is taken care of, let's check your head here. So you said you bumped it when you were reaching in. Okay, so it's right about up here then, right? Okay. Right? The burn kind of scared you? Yeah, and then you jumped, of course. That's understandable. So what looks good here is there's no sort of open wound. You're not bleeding, anything like that. It's just kind of a little bump. So I think you're probably just going to have kind of an egg on your forehead here, unfortunately. Might be a little sensitive. Does that hurt? Okay. So yeah, I do think it's just going to be a little bit of a bump on your head, but let's just make sure, of course, since you're here. So, if you can, just look at this light here, and if you can just hold your head still and follow the light. positions okay? Okay. Hmm. Okay, now how about you just follow, keep your head still, follow the end of this pin here. Did that cause you any sort of discomfort? Okay. Okay, what about moving your eyes? Move them to the side, other side, up, down, and kind of circle your eyes. And the other way, circle your eyes. Okay. Now what about your head itself? Can you tilt? Okay. And tilt. Back. Down. And kind of circle your head. Is there any sort of dizziness or anything you're experiencing with that? Okay. So I don't think you should worry about a concussion or anything like that. It's just a little bump to the head. Yeah, it's not your day, I'm afraid. But as I said, you were very lucky, and I don't think that, you should worry too much. Alright. You are almost all set. Maybe go home and have some sort of turkey, unless it's completely burned. Yeah. Hopefully you figure it out somehow. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just signing off on this, and as I said, all of my notes here, we're gonna go ahead and print off for you, and you can pick that up at the nurse's station. Yep, it's gonna talk about how you have a 2nd-degree burn, how we treated it, how you are going to continue to treat it. It's also going to have that prescription for the ointment that we talked about. Exactly. It's going to show that I do recommend that you schedule an appointment with your regular doctor, just to make sure that the healing process is, working, of course. And then it's going to have our contact information. If you do have any questions for me personally or anyone here, you can always contact us. Yes, going to provide you with all of that information. Okay. I will go ahead and give your chart to the nurse out front. Yep, and they'll go ahead and check you out, and you'll be on your way. I do hope that the rest of your Thanksgiving is a little bit better, and that your arm starts to feel nice as well. Alright. Well, try and have a good rest of your evening, and happy Thanksgiving. Bye now.